My name is Lamar Shepard, and I'm the founder of Youngblood Athletics. I got the idea for my organization in large part based on my own experiences and observations as a young athlete. So I believe that we can help young athletes using sports to prepare for their future success, whether they are pursuing an athletic scholarship or not. I think we can use sports as a path toward higher education. I think my journey up to this point has given me the ability to connect with people on an authentic level based on all the different experiences and situations I've been through. Specifically, sports has played a big role in my personal development. I grew up in the Central Valley here in California on a farm, and there's a quarter-mile stretch of dirt road that connects my house to the main road. And as early as I can remember, I think I was an athlete. That was really the first part of my identity that I understood. So I would run up and down this road, racing the wind, and I would listen for the wind in my ear. And when I heard the wind pick up, it meant that the wind was catching up with me and I had to run faster. So that's really the first memory I had of competing. Around the age of 7, I discovered this immediate connection to the sport of basketball. And I had a hoop or a court built in my backyard. I can't tell you how many times I practiced that the hook shot, the baby hook by Magic against the Celtics in '87. And that's really when I realized the role that sports can play in life, you know, kind of reinforcing core values and things we need to ultimately be successful. I think the sport of basketball became more serious, the competitive aspect, as I approached middle school. And I can recall an epiphany that took place during the 8th grade. I was watching some players in San Francisco actually play basketball. And that was the first time I really appreciated the combination of skill and talent, what it did for the game. So naturally the speed was a little faster, and the rhythm was just beautiful to watch. And sitting there looking at these basketball players, I felt that I had the innate talent to compete on that level, but I knew that there was a gap at that time that I had to close. And I knew, you know, again, based on a lot of the experiences from the farm, that it came down to just dedication and hard work. Fortunately, I was able to close the gap that happened during that epiphany in the 8th grade, watching these skilled, stronger players play the game of basketball at a much higher level. By the time I entered high school as a freshman, I had invested a lot of the hard work to enable me to perform at that level. The passion, the consistent passion I had for basketball allowed me to progress consistently through my high school years. And you know, early on, I was recognized as one of the better players in my area, which gave me an opportunity to play on the AAU circuit against some of the best players in the country during the summer. So again, having the exposure to even higher level competition and understanding how much or how far I needed to raise the bar in order to compete at that level was instructive. My mom, again, being a single mother, having me at an early age and making the sacrifice, given the options that she had at the time, to bring me into the world. So she really encouraged me to create options for myself, in large part because of some of the life experiences she had. I think, again, we do young people, young athletes a disservice by not encouraging them to consider all the great options that exist in the world. So typically, if it's a young athlete and they're engaged in competitive sports, it's all about getting that Division I scholarship. And there's no exposure to some of the other options, or there's no realization for that young athlete that even if you get into a Division I program, you may not progress to the next point, which is the pro ranks. And so you need to have options available to you to continue to have a successful life. I think we do a disservice to young athletes by focusing on just one end goal as it relates to their sports careers. So if you think about high school athletes, the end goal is clearly to try to get a sports scholarship, which is great. But what about the kids who make that four-year commitment but may not earn the interest or gain the interest of a sports program at a college or university? I mean, I have a hard time believing that all their hard work over those 4 years should go for naught. So I think the way I envision it, again, using sports as a path toward higher education, if you're an athlete who has shown potential and you have the opportunity to earn a sports scholarship, I can definitely help you in your physical development off the court. If you're an athlete who has some potential and you need help, just kind of reaching your max, your ceiling, I can still help you develop while also helping you position your accomplishments, things like leadership, commitment, responsibility, to bolster your academic record. We know that the admissions process is more competitive than ever, and sports is a very viable extracurricular activity if you present it the right way. Moving forward, I want to continue to enhance the services that I provide in order to help young athletes prepare for their future, specifically higher education as a next step. As a young child, my grandmother, who was an activist, took me to feed the homeless every Thanksgiving. And those lessons stayed with me throughout my life, so I still managed to find time to perform some type of community service. Unfortunately, I know there's a lot of young athletes, a lot of young kids in general that don't get that opportunity. So I really like the idea of using sports to foster civic engagement. NBA Cares is a great example of that. In the very near future, I plan on incorporating community service as yet another tenet of my program.